YouTube, Instagram, and Houdini. We're live.
Houdini, we're live.
Holy moly.
Who's on live with us?
Can we get live here? This is the question.
Can we?
Content streaming
Preview.
Software. Oh, see, there's a delay.
What's the
There we
delay? There's a delay. There is a delay. It's crazy.
All right. And here.
Joe, here we go. Who's the first person on?
Fucking
First
no
person
one.
on gets a free LBVDQ.
What's that?
It's a new thing you're going to make.
I'm not making it.
Yeah, of course you're going to make it.
It's some surplus stuff you're giving.
I'll make it. I'll make. You know what?
your
The first, wait.
warehouse.
What do I got? What do I have? If the first person, who is Derek Olson?
He's been around for a very long time. I know.
All right,
who
Derek.
Olson is. Empty. What's up? Chris Watkins.
You were the first one, Derek. Send John your contact information, and I'll send you something in the mail, Derek.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'll send him something. I got a medical backpack. I got something. I
want the medical backpack.
It's a legit one too. It's like the old Navy Corpsman ones, made out of canvas, bro. I mean, it's legit. It is legit.
Is it loaded?
No, it's not loaded. I mean, I have a loaded one, but the brand new one, like it's brand new, never been used.
The canvas one?
It's canvas, yeah.
Can you load it with the stuff from that time period?
Mm-hmm.
That would be Vietnam, right?
Well, I have one that's loaded. I have one that's loaded, and I have one that's brand new unloaded.
From Vietnam?
Not Vietnam, from the 90s.
Korea?
So it's got...
They weren't using canvas in the 90s.
Yes, they were. The Navy... Hey, my Navy corpsmen, shout out. They were using goddamn duck canvas. I can bring it in and show you. It's a duck canvas bag. It was old school. It had... I bet it had bandages in it from Korean War.
Where's Brandel? Is he writing his bug out plan right now?
He might be. He's ready to go.
He's on the phone.
He's on the phone.
He's like, pack your stuff in case Panamanian paratroopers come today.
It's going to happen.
Brandel has...
How many times do you run laps around yourself in a day?
Who's he talking to?
Been flying today at work. Derek Olson. Laps around myself. I don't know how you do a lap around yourself.
He had a pedometer on here, like a ped meter or something, footstep meter. Yeah. When we got in here, he was doing 6 miles a day. When we were first coming in the shop.
I don't know how you convert it, but when I was in New Zealand on the hunt, we were doing 25,000 steps a day.
Somebody math that out. Tell us how many miles that is for a normal.
It's probably like a half a mile.
Now, what's a stride? 3 foot.
How's everyone doing?
Beating records. What's up? Yeah, we move a lot on some days. Like it depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing computer work or social media stuff, I'm generally sitting down. But if I'm working with the dudes, like I'm all over the place. And some days I'll do 4 miles on the property, probably. Most of it in the building. And other days I'm, probably 2 miles. I have a lot of kit and still love the modified type 56 Chike. That's because you're a poor motherfucker.
No, man. That old canvas stuff is good.
He said modified Chicom.
Chicom. That's terrible.
Took down 6 red box today. What's that, Patrick? Red box. Took down 6 red boxes. Like you removed them from the locations? Is that the DVD rental?
Did you get to keep all the DVDs? I
have my dad's canvas duffel that he took 2 from Vietnam. That's fucking cool, man. I have a couple of those old sea bags like that. Buckethead says, "What's up, geezers? How many times do you run laps?" Okay, we've read those, guys. There's a lot of comments here. Anybody on this feed right here from Instagram? I'm looking to see if Instagram is actually feeding into this. Right now, I only see YouTube comments here, but we are live on Instagram. But my concern is that it's not merging into our comments here. Let's go over here. Are we in fact? Yeah, there's a shitload of comments here on Instagram. Information about CLR, GTR. Mercedes CLR GTR is remarkable racing car. So I don't know about the Mercedes, but I know in the GTR, the Nissan, like the Skyline.
There's a young lady in Waverly that has the new Toyota Supra.
Oh yeah.
And it is fucking nice. It's only like an inch off the ground. I'm like, girl, where'd you get that car?
Yeah, and if it's an inch off the ground, she's gonna
sugar daddy.
Tear that shit up quick.
She's had all kinds of. I see her all the time. She has all kinds of shit in there, fishing poles, fucking lamps and shit. I'm like, man, you know what I would have done to have that car 20 years ago?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Joseph Frazier, what's up? Empty, what's going on? El Tenda, what's going on? Carpe Diem. Hey guys, there's a Facebook comment there, guys. I know you're hearing me on Instagram. We are not seeing any Instagram comments over here for some reason. It says we're live. Once you're live, if stream public, you'll find it at the top of the feed on Instagram. So we're live on Instagram. If I go to Instagram, I see you guys are here. Skully and John, good fucking evening. Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time, Jackalow. Yes, get the notifications from Instagram. I see your guys' comments when we toggle over to Instagram, but for some reason,
it's not pulling up.
It's not showing us in StreamYard here, your comments. So if you want to have a conversation with us, I guess jump over on YouTube. For you guys that don't know, I do a live every night on YouTube. For you guys that don't know, Skully has a channel on YouTube called Dog Kennel and Little Spoon.
It's terrible. Don't go to it.
25 steps is just under 12 miles.
25,000 steps is just under. Wow, I can't believe me. You know, me and Travis were cussing the whole time because we were in the. They call it the Southern Alps. So we're in these mountains and it's just uphill, and these guys are dragging us up these hills, and me and Travis are in the back like, this is some bullshit, motherfucker. And Chris is up front like, from the halls of Montezuma. Like, we're like, God damn it, Chris.
Is Chris in good shape?
I mean, fuck, we're old men now, and Chris just fucking, he's like ready to fucking climb up mountains and shit. Yeah, he's in good shape.
Nothing crazy, feeding the dogs. Tristan wants to know, Skully, how are you preparing for the solar storm?
I'm not preparing at all for a solar storm. We've had, you know how many solar storms we've had in the last year that have done nothing? I'm hoping it knocks everything out. I'm hoping that the grid goes down and the cars don't run. I'm going to be fine. I got food. I got water. I'm not going to be able to drive anything, maybe.
Me too. I've got 20 EMP shields right in front of me.
Oh, yeah, you got 20 EMP shields. I don't have anything. Hey,
attached to nothing.
Wait, are
installed.
Are the EMP shield guys coming?
Yeah. To the deal?
Yeah, to the party.
Yeah.
I want to bring my fucking tractor over here and put an EMP shield on it. Would they do that?
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of people here that can do it. AJ Harrison can install them for you. Spags will be here. He's our MC.
Well, I need an EMP shield on my tractor, so I can still. I want to be able to cut the grass after the apocalypse.
Yeah, Tad can do it.
Tad, really?
Cody could do it.
Oh, I bet Cody could do it.
On your tractor, you could do it. It's 3 wires.
Hell, I can't do it.
I
couldn't even figure out why my hydraulics didn't work.
That's because that's some bullshit.
I've been going to 3-cell gold claim to test.
What about your optics and your weapon light?
My optics?
He'll use iron sights.
EMP ain't going to do anything to my optics. I got ACOGs, bro. Oh. ACOGs, that's the way you got to go. You don't need batteries. You don't need any of that shit. ACOGs.
1859. Hey, Tristan, I don't know who you are. You don't have to convince us, dude. We have
18 what?
It's the
when the first it did fuck shit up.
Event. Yeah, it melted all the fucking telegraph lines and shit.
But you have to remember that in 1859, all that stuff was exposed, very exposed, because they didn't understand how electrical current works. Most of the stuff that we have now is not as exposed as we pretend it is. So it's going to be it has to be a really big event in order for the things to happen that everybody's afraid to happen.
Micro EMP shield for night vision. You don't need it. Just have your extra stuff in a
Faraday cage.
Yeah. I mean, I bought every Faraday bag there was on Amazon, and the SLNT, the silent, are the nicest of them. I've got a lot of them. You could easily take, a tiny house like this building here and Faraday this out. You could totally ground this whole thing out. You could mesh the wire of the whole walls. You could do all that shit. You could even just put a small cage if you didn't want to build the whole thing out, or you didn't have the money to do it all. You don't have to convince us on the EMP stuff.
Like I said, I want it on my tractor.
I'm literally looking at
so I can cut the grass.
A dozen EMP shield boxes over here. We've got EMP shield on everything. If the grid goes down, will you sew gear by hand? Yeah, I actually have some hand machines. We're going to actually bring in a couple of Singer tackers. They're much bigger machines, and they're treadle operated, and everything about the machine is bigger. Yeah, we still would. Would we be sewing?
Why would you?
I think if the power goes out, you're going to be very busy. Like, you're going to be a while till you get industry back up. We're going to be doing a lot of shit. Sewing is probably not what we're going to be doing.
I mean, you probably will be sewing, but it'll be patching things up that need to be patched.
Tim, what's up, man? How are you? How's business? TikTok Shop isn't limited by the U.S. government, so you can get all kinds of entry tools and lockpicks. You can buy those on Amazon, Tristan.
Yeah, you can buy them on
like,
Amazon.
Look up, fuck, I can't remember his name. We bought 2 of his books. Fuck, I am drawing a blank. There's 2 dudes. Sky Pirate Actual on Instagram. Check him out. He's still active duty Army, does a ton of manual entry stuff. And he's got another buddy that does dogs. He's been out here a bunch of times. He's written some fucking great books, and he sells lock picks and stuff. You can buy all that bullshit right on Amazon. Just moved my shop 600. Good, man. Whatever you're doing, man, I hope it's by your choice. And I hope it is fucking what you want to be doing, man. Bonsai Bill on YouTube. Yeah, lockpicking lawyer is fucking awesome. Sky Pirate Actual is good, dude. We've had him on. We've talked to him.
I hate the lockpicking lawyer.
Why?
I hate him because he literally is like, he's literally
all
every
this
week
shit you bought is no
like,
good.
This don't work. Boop. This don't work. Like he literally takes every lock. It's like, God damn it, I might as well just leave everything unlocked. Yeah. He's a fucking ninja when it comes to taking those locks apart.
For you guys that don't know, there's it's like a Swiss Army knife, like a Leatherman tool. Has 9 little pieces in it that fold out, and they look like little tiny combs. It'd be like combing a 1/4 inch of my beard. And that tool right there, they sell between $75 and $90 depending where you buy them. It opens every fucking lock on the property here, and I've got some $120 fucking padlocks, and it opens those motherfuckers. You go into any box store, it will open every fucking lock in that box store. Bo, what's up, buddy? How are you? Hey, Skully, will you be coming to the Chickamauga battlefield?
I don't know where the Chickamauga battlefield is, but if you tell me where it's at, I'll show up.
How would you guys recommend securing my...
Sounds like a hoot.
How would you recommend securing my back wall if shit hit the fan? I was thinking of caulking rusted nails on the top of the wall. I'm in Arizona in a city. Tristan, I'm not sure what you're asking me.
If you're talking about securing a wall, you need to go old school Middle Eastern technology.
Broken bottles.
Just go ahead and break up a bunch of bottles, and you can use cement. You just run a layer of cement across your wall and just start putting that glass inside that cement. That's a easy and affordable way to secure that back wall.
ACOG versus LVPO.
ACOG.
Jose, what's up, buddy? Good to see you the other day, man. Nice to sit down and have dinner with you. I think it's McNeely or something. They have a key bar like set entry tool. Yeah, highly possible. When World War III goes full retard, it will be my time to shine. When I was 7-year-old watching Mad Max, it just made sense when I pocket dumped at the end of the day. It's like the scene from Mad Max Enter Thunderdome.
Do you have that little music box? That's the key to this. That's the key to surviving, is the music box. You gotta have the
defense.
Music box.
I need defense. Yeah, you know what? You know what you need if you think you need defense in the city. You need to leave the fucking city.
Yeah, leave the city.
All that bullshit that happened in the last couple of years, none of it happened out of the cities.
Tripwires and booby traps are a felony in most places. Not that it matters if the fucking rule of law disappears, but again, go ahead and look up how many times individuals have been killed by their own fucking booby traps.
What should we do if they come to draft us for Taiwan?
Just not go.
Join. Listen to our video from today, man. We talked for 30 minutes about this draft bullshit. What's up with Russian ships in Cuba?
Hey, join the Coast Guard. What's up with Russian ships in Cuba? You are living in a world of a failed administration. First time in I think it's the first time in 60 years that Russians have had nuclear weapons in Cuba. That is that vessel. Of course, the Cubans don't really want it there, so it's kind of good because the Cubans are like, stop using us as your pawn. But still, that boomer is sitting in Cuba proper. So it's a problem of this administration. Now, let me throw out a fucking caveat to the Navy. Here is the thing that most people don't pay attention to. You didn't see. Is the fucking same day that boomer pulled into Cuba, a fucking U.S. Navy attack submarine pulled into Guantanamo Bay. Now, people might just think that's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It means that when that fucking boomer left Vladivostok and came into the fucking Pacific Ocean, or Pacific. I think they have to go to the Pacific, then the Atlantic. Anyways, But the minute that fucking nuclear-powered Russian submarine left port, there was a goddamn U.S. Navy attack submarine right fucking behind it, following it the whole way. So the minute that goddamn boomer pulled into port, the attack submarine pulled into port too.
Yeah,
that is flexing like a motherfucker.
That's what Homestead said. We have one at Gitmo right now. Mad Max was the inevitable future for New Zealanders. With little or no junkyards, every U.S. city is stocked with spare alternators and running engines. Your blender will work plenty.
Yeah, well, I mean, I plan on making margaritas in the end of the world.
Well, you were in Iraq.
Yeah.
Chickamauga is the largest Civil War battlefield in Georgia, south of Chattanooga.
Nice. I would love to go see that.
Hey guys, John saw the short that
do they do a reenactment at Chickamauga? Do they have like?
I'm sure they do.
If they do, let me know when it's happening. I would love to go see that.
Hey guys, John saw the short. Saw the short that went up today. Glad you settled the 6-mag question. I'm not sure what the question ever was. We do a 6-mag and an 8. Both of them are scalable out. Lawfully armed. Buy food now. You should always buy food.
Yeah, you should always have at least. Well, even the CDC says you should, or not the CDC.
They say 90 days now.
Who's the other guys?
World Health.
No, the people that put the
Mormons?
RV trailers. No, the people that put the RV government put the RV
FEMA.
trailer. FEMA. Even FEMA says you should have a week's worth of food in your house.
If shit hits the fan, how would you maintain a gunshot wound? You're fucked. If shit hits the fan and you get a gunshot wound, you are fucked. You better have a fucking doctor with you.
Or a veterinarian.
Get out of the city, man.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a game. You're playing this what if shit that you're hoping never happens. If you're staying in the city and that's your plan, you are fucked.
You're fucked.
If you have kids and family, you are fucked. You need to change your way of life right the fuck now.
You can, by the way, you can buy antibiotics right now. There's a couple of kits that you can buy over the internet that will provide you with
Jace Medical. There's another one that hit us up. There's a bunch of those places. You just talk to them over the internet. Really, I don't think you even have to talk to them on the phone, and they're gonna send your shit. What you also might not know is while you've heard they've banned vet meds, you can buy vet meds. You can still buy what's the one everybody was all up in, the horse paste? What was ivermectin? You can buy it at fucking Walmart right here. It's like fucking $15 a tube. You can buy it at Tractor Supply. You can buy penicillin. You can buy all the shit you think you can't get. You can get it as injectable or oral for vet. It's still the same shit. And when you say that, people are gonna lose their shit. Refuge Medical for first aid. Yeah, they're not doing antibiotics and shit. Yes, Refuge is awesome. Homestead Medical here, who is a moderator on all of my pages. He sells medical stuff too. And what he has is every medical pouch, bag, backpack that we make. You tell him what SOE product you have. He has a full load kit. So you don't have to guess and piece it together. He has 100% load for every medical bag that we make. And I'm friends with Bear. Bear shit's awesome. Bear came out. Bear's done classes here. Homestead's done classes here. Skully John are right. Several places do online consults and will send you a kit. Yeah, and you can tell them how many people in your family. You can tell them what your bigger concerns are. You can expand that kit out. They'll do. If you have existing meds, they'll also provide meds for your existing conditions that are not normal shit in their kits.
It's a great thing to just have in your pocket.
Yeah, it's called telehealth. You don't have to see a doctor anymore. And if you are guys seeing doctors, you should find a doctor that doesn't take insurance. Find a doctor that is cash only. You will get very fucking different service, and they will prescribe very different shit to you. Doctors who take insurance are beholden to the insurance companies, and they will fucking just prescribe you meds. My fucking wife went to the doctor for something completely different, and they fucking prescribed her, when she went to pick her prescription up, they prescribed her statins. They never even discussed fucking statins. And anybody who has a relative or anybody on statins, you should really look into that shit. They're showing that it's causing dementia. It's putting holes in your fucking brain. Like just Google that shit. And all the tests that they did on statins, that whole test when they started prescribing that shit was based from a test from, I think it was 1964. And there was only 100 people in that fucking test body. And it was never conclusive that shit even worked. So just look at that shit. Making friends can cost you your life. Tristan, you seem fucking pretty miserable, buddy. Like you are in for a very, very fucking hard life. How old are you? would you guys be shooting on site if you see someone? Dude, we can't have these questions. We can't have these conversations with you, Tristan. We don't know you. You're playing this what if game, and what you don't realize is anybody on social media right now is really being looked at by federal agents. And if somebody said something to you,
he may very well be the federal.
That's agent. What I'm saying. Everybody here, whether you are or not, thinks that you are trying to set them up. You're an unknown. I've never seen you on any of my stuff before. And you say the most benign shit. You'll have some overzealous agent work a whole fucking case up on you, and they'll end up at your fucking house.
I would say, to answer your question about shooting on site, and that is, oh shit, what happened? Oh man, here we go. Which button we push?
I don't know.
There we go. I don't know. I didn't push any button. I kicked the cord. I would say this is no. Me and John have these conversations before. Is when it comes to anything, shit hits the fan, World War III, fucking zombies, you have to have the moral high ground. And if you were the shoot on sight type of person, you don't have the moral high ground. You are part of the problem. So you have to have the moral high ground. The problem with having the moral high ground is it puts you in jeopardy. Meaning, if I am willing to take the time to see who you are before we're going to go to fisticuffs, that puts me in jeopardy. That gives you the opportunity to be on the offensive before I am. But again, if you don't have the moral high ground, what's the sense in fucking even living in this world? That's the way I look at it. And again, I say this all the time. The difference between me and my liberal friends is I don't care who is in charge when they go start putting people on trains. I am going to show up and I'm going to do everything I can to keep them from putting them on the trains. Liberals, Democrats, Republicans, Catholics, Jews, fucking LGBT, it won't matter. I will be there because I know the difference between right and wrong, and people tend to forget that.
Jackalomian sidecar. Man, I know about the dog, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. I saw her post. I didn't want to reach out and be one of the other fucking 400 assholes at that time. I'm really not. I'm asking to see someone geared up outside of his house.
I mean, there's no reason not to be careful, Tristan, because again, I don't know if you've watched the fucking the movie about what's the name of it that just came out about Civil War. Just because someone is in uniform does not mean they are there to help you, and that includes the government.
Yeah, when the government comes in, they are not there to help you.
That includes the government. That doesn't necessarily mean they're there to help you. So there's no reason not to be cautious. You should be cautious whenever you're engaging anybody that you don't know. But again, that person might turn out to be an asset, not a fucking threat. So however you want to handle that, you have to take the moral high ground. Again, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be right. It's not dangerous to follow the crowd and fucking do the thing that the crowd is doing.
And when the government shows up, they're not there to help you. They're not going to give you some food and just leave you there. They're going to evacuate you into some place where you are contained.
You don't want to be.
And it's going to be difficult for you to get out. And if you have a bunch of people with you, they're going to split the males and females up, and they're probably going to split the children up as well. You leaving, you're going to leave them there.
If you do a little research on Katrina and you look at what was going on in the Superdome, the National Guard was actually recommending to people who showed up late to not go inside the Superdome, to stay outside with them because they couldn't control what was going on inside the Superdome. So just think about that. It is a heavy moral dilemma when you're talking about end of the world type thing or no rule of law. But again, you can't become one of them. You can't not. If you become one of them, you are just the problem, and you should be dealt with just like the rest of them. You have to have the moral high ground. Period. You also never see you on tonight's live stream. Well, I mean, maybe he's busy. Josh Winnie, why are you being all mean, Josh?
Always stirring the pot.
Always stirring the pot. Jesus, Josh.
It's a simple fact.
You still don't answer. You don't ever answer my fucking mushroom questions, whether I'm going to live or die.
You're gonna die.
I know most of them I'm gonna die, but he won't answer them. It's terrible.
He can't tell over the internet.
Yes, he can.
Would you fight them if they tried taking? Yeah, you better not ever get on the fucking train or bus.
Don't get on the train or bus. Figure out a way to not be part of that problem. Like I tell people, and I probably shouldn't put this over the internet, but I'm gonna anyways. I tell people all the time, go to your local National Guard unit, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. The fucking 231st Truck Company air conditioning. Go to your local National Guard unit, talk to those guys, look at their uniforms, and then immediately go to the surplus store and buy that uniform. Complete, down to the fucking canteens that they use, or Camelbacks, whatever they do. Put that in a fucking Foot Locker and leave it there. And so if something happens, you can be part of the 232nd Truck Air Conditioning Repair Unit, and nobody will put you on a bus. They'll just be like, hey, go over and check that house. And you can put a fucking red X on your house and be like, this house has already been checked. And then go inside. Fucking eat your pizzas.
Is Chris Hayes a white guy?
What the fuck?
Why does he keep calling me amigo?
Why would he be saying, oh, it's Chris saying amigo? I don't know why. Because we're amigos.
Why does he always talk to me in Mexican?
I don't, because he
Did he do that? Did he do that shit when you guys were?
No, he never Mexicaned me. He knows better. Come on, Chris.
Skully needs you to send me the current uniform
for the
Utah National Guard. Have 10 pair of them.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. I mean,
I know
the deal, Chris.
10 pairs of them.
You know the deal, Chris. You need an M4 carbine with a rack number painted on it. Well, I'll get you the radios and everything. So as soon as those guys pull up, they'll be like, "Oh shit, look at that fucking." You know what? I'm gonna get you a colonel uniform because you look like a colonel, Chris. You could just pull it off. You could be like, "My men are all over this mountaintop. We don't need you FBI agents up here."
Do you think they will come check on our chickens with the current flu? Yeah, so I think depending where you're at, yeah,
depending on where you're at,
they did just this last time. All this bullshit running around. What you guys might not have heard about this bird virus, they were just telling you that the first human died from it. His relatives say he had fucking cancer and like 3 other existing conditions and been in the hospital for 2 weeks.
What the fucking bullshit, Chris? I know you have an AR.
Okie, what's up? Okie?
You need an M4 carbine, Chris, because that's what all the National Guard guys are carrying now.
Okie
with a rack number that's like 25 on it.
I can't get back here. It's not going.
Oh, back. You know what? Colonel, I already see it. Colonel Chris Hayes, Utah National Guard, 432nd Truck Company. You're just gonna have a Beretta. We'll get you a Beretta with a fucking rack number of 25 on it. That's all you're gonna have. We'll get you. We got to get you like a corporal to hang out with you.
If you're running your AO right, some rando shouldn't be getting near your house without you seeing them coming. Have people.
Yeah, the key is to have people, because again, I lone wolf of the battlefield. I feel like I'm gonna survive the shit hits the fan by myself. That's not really true, because again, the reality of any of those situations is it's time, and time requires people. Because you can't stay up 24 hours a day. There's going to be a point where you are going to be fucking useless if you are trying to do that. So you need time. You need people to buy you time. And that is individuals that can stand watch while you fucking sleep, and you can stand watch while they sleep. It's just, you have to have a community when you're talking about shit hits the fan for real. You really have to have a community. You can't do it on your own. It's a bullshit idea, but again, I'm going to fight and die in place, because that's just
timer claymores. Yeah. Old. And remember, 40 Mike is NATO rounds.
I want a claymore. No, I don't. I'm just kidding.
For all you dudes that are like, we don't have 40 Mike. No, not the first day you won't.
Day 2 you will.
Day 2 you will. You don't have to have a machine gun right now. Yep. You'll have one by day 2.
Day 2 there'll be machine guns. Here's my I'm going to tell you this right now on live YouTube. Day 2 of any calamity that where shit hits the fan and rule of law doesn't matter. I promise you, on day 2, if you come to Waverly, Tennessee, I'm going to be smiling as big as I fucking can smile, and I'm going to be driving an M1 Abrams. It's just going to happen, because I know where there's one, and I know how easy it's going to be to get, and I'm going to be driving that M1 Abrams. Now, again, I'm not going to have I probably won't have main gun rounds day 2. It's probably going to take me a couple weeks of bartering and trading with some people, like, giving National Guard guys beer in order to get said ammunition. But I'm definitely going to have that 50 cal ready to go because I can get that right fucking now. So I'll have an M1 Abrams. I'm just driving around the neighborhood.
And for you federal agents, that's not because we're going to take them from the military.
No, it's just they're just going to be there.
They're like shit's going to happen. We're going to come up on the fucking where the skirmish was after the fact and pick up the stuff the other guys fucking missed.
As a matter of fact, for you, anybody on here that's a federal agent, you should really look at this as like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure this equipment for the federal government, and I'm going to keep it safe while all this calamity is going down.
Yeah, and the full auto rifles that's for breaking contact. Like, have you ever heard suppressive fire, breaking contact? All those little cunts that are like combat loadout 6 mags. Yeah, because when you had blanks on base, combat loadout was 6 mags. That's because you didn't have to fucking suppressive fire. You didn't have to break contact. Have you motherfuckers never seen heat?
My sheriff's department in town has an MRAP. They leave the fucking door open, and I know the keys are in it. So MRAP is easy. I'm going to drive the MRAP to the place where the Abrams is at, and then I'm going to leave the MRAP, and I'm going to drive the Abrams home.
Hey, your neighbor.
I will put up an Uber sign in it.
Skully, you're going to need a fire team to operate the tank. I'm happy to help.
I would love to have help, but I don't really need a fire team because I'm just going to drive over shit. That's it. I'm going to close the hatch. I'm going to drive over shit. Have you ever seen that dude with the M60 tank in San Diego? He fucked up a lot of shit. And he was just driving an M60 tank.
Tony Barker says, fuck the feds. They started this shit. We can talk about whatever we want. That's cool, Tony. You make sure, go ahead and put your address up so they go to your fucking house. Yeah. One of us, probably not you, one of us knows what a federal search warrant, my attorney likes to point, I'm in the right. He goes, you are in the right, but you also know what the execution of a federal search warrant looks like. So put your address up here and just make sure they go to your house first. Let me know when they're there.
Don't put your address up. You have a federal government right now that is weaponizing law enforcement against regular citizens for no reason other than hey, I was standing on the fucking grassy knoll taking pictures.
You have people that have been in pretrial confinement for 1,080 days,
which
right
is
now.
Illegal, and they are still in pretrial confinement.
I saw the live with the San Diego tank guy. So the San Diego tank guy ran through that RV, that motorhome was 1 block up from my grandmother's house.
I used to go to that.
We know the guy that shot that guy.
I used to go to that armory.
Yep.
And do pellet rifle competitions.
Yeah. Kearney Mesa. I did pellet rifle at General Dynamics.
I used to go there and shoot all the time.
Yep.
And did I not even know that I could have just drove away in a tank? That would have been priceless.
The FBI already knocked on my door over silly shit in 2013. They're doing a lot of that. Like it is a thing. You can see new videos every single day of that happening. They just knocked on a lady's door for blowing the whistle on vaccination shit happening at her, or gender reassignment stuff happening at her hospital. And 2-3 FBI agents came to her house to fucking strong arm her over her fucking, they hit her up for HIPAA violations.
Of course. Freeze dryer.
We have a freeze dryer.
Yeah, John's got a freeze dryer that runs 24 hours a day making eggs.
Anybody wants a freeze dryer? If you go to, I have 5,000 videos on my YouTube channel. If you click on any of them, you will see links. Harvest Right freeze dryers there. If you click my link when you buy your Harvest Right, it gives us a small percentage of your order. That's your way for thanking us for doing all the fucking videos we do. Tristan, is it Tristan? Tristan, how old are you, buddy? Tristan. And what pays your bills? You don't have to tell us specifically where you work, but like, what do you do? I'll get a Harvest Right through your link soon. Thank you, Derek. We have affiliate links, guys, for
it's a good way to go.
Redcon 1, Premier Body Armor. They actually made 4 armor plates that fit in our specific products. They're on their website. Redcon 1, EMP Shield. We have Amazon link. You guys shop on Amazon? Anybody? Say yes if you do. Anybody ever use Amazon? If you click on any of my Amazon links in my video descriptions before you buy, anything you buy in the next 24 hours, it takes money away from Amazon and gives it to us. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't even know it happened.
It is, Tristan, that is very expensive. But again, if you put your energy into it and you make fucking candy, you can pay for that thing in a month. And then all the food that you freeze dry and properly store is going to last 25 fucking years. You can't, $2,000 will not buy you $2,000 will buy you a year of food. That's it. You can make 10 years of food in a year with that freeze dryer. So I know it's a big investment, but if you're thinking that you might need, food in the Arctic winter that is coming to us, then maybe you should buy one.
Got the Glock knife through your website. Oh, you mean through Amazon? And thank you, DH. Thank you for using our link, man. Like we get like 1 to 2% of your order spend. If you're not on a government list, everybody's on a government list. Like you guys, some of you might not realize. So I'll say this: anything you have ever said, typed, texted, or looked up, to include the little pictures of your little pee-pee that you sent to your girlfriend or boyfriend, all of that shit, everything that has ever happened from day one on the internet, there is a record of everything you've done. And when they want you, there's not like an alarm goes off on most stuff. When they want you,
they just look you up.
They just assign a team of analysts to go through your shit. And believe me, if they want you and there's not a crime, they will just put one in there.
Well, I mean, again, like John said, they save everything. There is a farm, there's a server farm in Utah that the NSA runs, and it collects every fucking piece of data that the United States produces. That's your phone calls, that's your text messages. It collects everything. Recently, they just busted a NSA female
for dick pics.
For dick pics. She literally, there is a space in there where you can look at what people are sending each other. She had like 5 terabytes of, basically she was smuggling stuff out of this NSA farm, and she was smuggling it out, and they're like, oh shit, we got to investigate her and see, because she's probably some sort of fucking operative for the Chinese. And they go to investigate her and find out all she was doing was smuggling out dick pics that she could look at later. So again, there's an NS agent that has seen your dick pics.
Big old outside Vegas. Yeah, they're everywhere. They have those data centers everywhere. Bob, I saw you're on here, buddy.
The big ones in Utah, though, they built that specifically to store all data out of the United States.
Yeah, my old Facebook account deleted, but I knew that they didn't delete it. Yeah, so if you want to test this, delete your Facebook page.
You can't delete your Facebook page.
Delete your Facebook page, shut it down. Mm-hmm. Wait 30 days, come back.
It'll all be there.
It's all still there.
Because when you signed up for Facebook, you actually signed up for an agreement that says that all that shit belongs to them anyways. So they just hold on to it.
She wasn't impressed with mine. Somebody said about the chick.
Well, you don't know. Maybe she was. Maybe she was.
Oh, you mean Monkey Works, Hardway, Alaska. Monkey Works always tells us about planes gathering information. Guys, there's balloons. There's surveillance, reconnaissance balloons over every major city, and they're doing data capture. This has been going on for 20 years.
They have an LED system, and this is going to sound so conspiratorial. I don't even want to say it. They have an LED system on these balloons that mirror whatever's above the balloons.
How does this get highlighted?
You look up in the sky to see this balloon, you won't see it because it is mirroring whatever's above them. There's actually a scientific paper that was released 3 years ago about them using this balloon in Chicago. And so they use this surveillance balloon in Chicago to just show its capabilities. And they actually videotape, or they actually, I don't want to say videotape because that sounds so old school, but they actually monitored a murder that took place. They followed the dude to where his car was. He walked to his car. He got in his car. They followed him in his car to his house. So they knew where he went and all that shit. They followed him all through Chicago, and then they published it. But because it's classified surveillance equipment, they published this a couple of years after the fact, and they wouldn't allow law enforcement to know who the guy was that fucking did the murder. So they're watching your shit right now.
Look up Epoch Times. Everybody knows who Epoch Times is, right? Look up Epoch Times and Stingray.
Stingray's old technology.
Stingray is a technology that was used in the beginning of Iraq.
Stingray's old technology.
They can take over your cell phone. You ever have your cell phone get really hot and you wonder why? That's because it's being overclocked. So they can do that. They can literally kill the battery, turn your phone off. They can also take control of your phone and send text messages and messaging through your phone as though it's coming from your phone from a remote location. That technology is over 30 years old.
Yeah, that's
imagine what they have now. Now, all your small law enforcement, all your small city law enforcement, they have Stingray. I'll bet Waverly has Stingray.
Yeah.
Now, every time Stingray is brought up in court, they always dismiss the charges because they will not admit to the Stingray technology, and it's 30 years old.
Yeah, it's 30 years old. So whatever they're using now, I mean, that literally they probably don't even have to have anything. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe John just sent that dick pic. That's probably what they're doing now. It's not even, it's too easy.
How is the government collecting all these pics? The telcos don't save the image, only the Andrew.
They are collecting every single one of those. Nothing that goes through the airwaves or the internet through cable or whatever is not.
It's not
collected.
Telcom. It's not Telcom collecting it. And dude,
you operate the NSA collecting it.
You operate however you want. The same way they're geofencing all your phones. If you don't know what that is, you should probably look into that too. If you have done anything, any place somewhere happens, they will come and ask you if you are a witness or if you are the criminal. In fact,
the minute you push send on your phone, the NSA collects that data.
See what he said? What? Stingray is called a CI on the paperwork.
There you go. Yep. So I mean, the minute you send, the NSA is collecting that data, and it's just sitting on those farms up in Utah. On those servers in Utah.
Bama Dad, what's up, buddy? I worked on Microsoft's TerraServe project back in '91. Even back then, I could zoom in on a car tag in a carport and read the number. Yep.
I mean, let's this is crazy.
They had all those balloons. They had surveillance footage when who's the kid that smoked them fools? Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Yeah, they had surveillance.
Those FBI surveillance, those came from balloons.
Just to give you a perspective, in 1985, my one of my best friends' dad worked for AT&T, and at night he was in the main building at AT&T, and he would bring us to the AT&T building, and we would sit in the AT&T building, and literally just like the old days, we would pull a plug out and we would be listening to people's conversations. So and then push the plug back in and go to somebody else's conversation. We would just fucking kids were in there listening to everybody's fucking phone conversations.
So this is interesting right here. Conservative friend said, where did that go?
They download
kitty porn to politicians. You know who that happened to? That happened to fucking Ron Paul. They downloaded kitty porn, and it got busted that it came from federal agencies. There's people in custody right now going through bullshit that there's no fucking way they were kitty porn guys, but that packet got put on their stuff. And yes, they can map your whole house through the router. Fucking, they've been doing it through your Roomba vacuum cleaners and any of that technology.
Paul Meadows, paratroopers.
Yeah, he's around a lot here. My wife and I call our agent Todd, tell him to stop when the phone gets hot. Yep. There's an AT&T bunker near me. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Do you remember the AT&T bunker that got blown up on on Christmas Eve a couple of years ago in Nashville?
Here in Waverly, Nashville?
Nashville. Blew the fuck out of that whole building there.
And it's all back together now.
Yep. Just leave the phone. That's the only option you have. But most of your vehicles are telling on you too, whether you realize it or not. LA FBI SWAT served a high-risk warrant on my house when I was already in custody, and my 7-month pregnant wife and 75-year-old dad were the only ones in the house. Yeah. That's Chris. Chris, I have a similar story.
Chris, I've actually told that story. I've actually told that story about how you got shenaniganed.
Black pill your NSA. Yeah, because those are bureaucrats. They can't work outside the system. For them to understand, it means everything they've done up to that point is wrong. Yeah, that incident went quick in AT&T. They had that dude. They fucking knew who he was and had it all solved within fucking like 3 hours of that shit happening. Look at the mayor of Nashville on there. He fucking had some super weird behavior. Also look into who the lead FBI detective on that case was and what other cases he's been involved with. I know who put it back together. Guys, if you're listening to this on Instagram, we cannot see your comments here. If you want to participate in the conversation, jump over to YouTube here.
The YouTubes.
I do a live every night at 9:00. You guys can jump on there. The conversation's driven by whatever you type out. We talk about light politics, current events, homesteading, prepping, business, stuff like that. Cameras on interstates and intersections. Yeah, guys, 20 years ago when I lived in San Diego still, police cruisers would drive through shopping mall parking lots and they had multiple cameras. And all those things were doing was reading license plates and pulling up anybody who had unpaid tickets, anybody who had warrants. They would go through and do massive takedowns. That was 20 years ago. Now, everywhere you go, something is on a camera. Do you remember the TV show 24, Jack Bauer? All that shit they do where they get in the computer system and shit. Everything since the 90s. Any box store tilt-up building, everything is networked. They can really do all that shit. Just imagine what they can do now. It doesn't matter whether you have your phone with you or not. My fucking truck sends me an email every 5,000 miles and tells me it's time for an oil change. Unless you have like a 1990s vehicle, they know where you're at. And if they don't, you're fucking whoever you're with, they can they know your voice. They know everything about you if you are within any electronics. Public transportation buses, you don't think they have fucking videos on them motherfuckers? Local police asked to use your ringtone without you knowing it. Local police asked to use your ringtone. Cameras.
Ring cameras.
Yeah, they already have access to it. Yeah, any of those devices. They have devices to your fucking Amazon thing, all that shit. So what we need to do is get rid of tech. Yeah, I mean, an EMP would fix most of that. But I mean, would an EMP just run your shit or would it run all the shit? I have a dying 97 Ford Explorer.
That'll work.
138 days remaining until midnight.
What's in 138 days?
I don't know what that means. Clever. Explain. Guys, we're having a party here.
I have to be prepared.
We're having a party here, July 13th. Everybody's invited. There is no cost. What?
No, I was just thinking public trans. I see them at the libraries doing.
Oh, the tranny shows. Are they doing it in Waverly?
No, I'm just kidding. Not just like public trans.
Guys, we're having a party. July 13th. Everybody's invited. If you are a vendor, if you make a product, if you sell something, if you have a service, reach out to us. Let us know what it is you do. We don't have any fee for you to be a vendor. Everybody can come. There will be machine guns, not our machine guns, legal machine guns. Not that we have illegal machine guns, but there will be legal machine guns that we don't own.
Somebody else is providing
giant bonfire, fire performers, music, food, everything. Just come hang out. In October, we're having Self-Reliance Festival. Tickets are on sale. The pre-sale tickets, we've lowered all the price on that. We've lowered the price to vendors. Make sure you put that on your radar. That's selfreliancefestival.com. That is something separate than the party. I think everybody, for the most part, knows what that is. You guys should come out to that. Sam Russell, what's up? Russell the Muscle. On the Harvest Right freeze dryer, would it be best to save up and get the XL? So I don't have an XL, and I don't know anybody that has an XL. I've got the large. Now, the XL is supposed to be twice the size of the large. The large that we have, for instance, we can run 120 eggs at a time. It takes about 3 days to it actually takes a little more than 3 days. If you pre-freeze what you're putting in the freeze dryer, it doesn't take as long to run. So while I'm running 120 eggs, I could freeze another 120 eggs. The wetter stuff is, the colder stuff, the wetter stuff is, the longer it takes. But you can speed that process up a little by pre-freezing it. The supermarkets, Walmart use Stingray like tech for marketing and research. Yeah, guys, it's way beyond that. Since early 2000s, anything that's come in Walmart and all your other box stores, they don't do inventory. It's active inventory. Everything that comes in Walmart has an RFID tag in it. When your phone gets next to that RFID tag, go try it. Go to Walmart today. Look at something you wouldn't typically look at it, check it out for a couple seconds, put it back on the shelf, go home. You're going to have that targeted to you on your social media because your phone was present and close to those items. You ever wonder how that shit happens? It's not because you just like try it.
There was a big to do about Target and
the pregnant girl.
The teenage pregnant girl sending those ads to the parents about diapers and shit.
And that was over 20 fucking years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, get the XL. You won't be sorry. Jeremy, do you have an XL or personally know anybody that has got one? Have any recommendations on what brand security cameras? We actually answered that question on our video today. I don't know if that was you that asked that. I answered it last night on live too. You have so many options with all the video camera shit. You are only limited by your fucking funds.
Yeah. It's like if you want a fast car.
Yep. How fast do you want to go?
How fast do you want to go?
Do you want to be the fastest in your town, or do you want to be the fastest in your city, or do you want to be the fastest in fucking your country?
I want to be able to scroll through.
How do I watch live shorts on YouTube? I want to be able to scroll through them. You can't. The lives come out because a short on YouTube is limited to 1 minute maximum. What is happening is because we do so many shorts, we put up over 100 shorts every week on YouTube, because most people on YouTube don't watch videos anymore. They only watch shorts, especially younger people. Their attention span is just wrecked. So they're doing this while they're waiting to fall asleep or while they're being paid to work or whatever. They're just doing this. And because you have interacted with shorts so much, anytime I am live, YouTube goes, oh, he's interacted with these things, and they put my live into your short. But you can't go watch all my lives. You have to go to my YouTube channel. Every live we have done on YouTube is still on YouTube. There's a tab, and you can just click it and click lives. They're all there. SOE Special Operations Equipment. What's up, Green Diesel? How are you? How are things in jolly old London? I agree with attention span. It's wrecked. Mine even is. I say that, like, I don't ever say that, like, to talk shit about people. It's affected me. I'm 52 years old. I sit down on the toilet and I'm like, holy fuck, my legs are asleep. I've been sitting here for 15 minutes just doing this. You get stuck in it. Even like you kind of snap out of it. You're like, holy fuck. She runs 24 to 26 dozen eggs at a time. Got it. I didn't see your other comment, but I'm guessing I don't have one. Talked with a lady in my town. Got it. Skully, what if people were getting on the trains are illegal immigrants? What if people getting on the trains are illegal immigrants?
Well, that's an easy answer. If the people are illegal immigrants that they're putting on the train. Now, when we say putting on the train, we're talking about a specific thing. I will still support and defend those illegal immigrants on the train. And then as soon as I get them off the train, we're going to deport them back to wherever they came from.
Cody, how often are my videos demonetized? If you say rape, if you say murder, if you say kill, your videos are
ivermectin,
COVID, medical disinformation. If you say any of those things, your videos are demonetized. Our videos are all demonetized. To give you an idea, I have never made over $3,000 a month on ad revenue on YouTube. They constantly tell me that my videos don't meet advertising guidelines. They're not advertising friendly.
What? But
you guys all are still fed ads on all of my videos that we don't make any money on.
What did you type? What did you, Skully? Story of an old episode pulling the thread. I just ran out of the room to type that in my previous post. Are we talking about your incident, Chris? Because I talked about your incident. I probably talked about your incident like 10 times. Because
Skully, have you seen?
You are the golden child.
Have you seen Victo's Instagram reels?
I have not.
Why, Derek? What's going on?
I have not.
Logistically, how would you transport?
I was just looking at Victor's.
How would you transport and deport 20+ million illegal immigrants without a railway?
What do you mean? Again, here's the issue. When we're talking about train cars, we're talking about something completely different.
About Auschwitz kind of
We're
shit.
talking about the extermination of an extermination of people solely based off of who they are. I'm not for that. I will do whatever I can to support and defend those people and get them off them train cars. As far as deporting them, as far as sending them back to where they came from after the fact, yeah, I would give them a little pamphlet that says, hey, this is how you become a U.S. citizen. If you can't manage that, you need to go back to wherever the fuck you came from. But I'm not going to allow a fucking tyrannical government to start exterminating people just because they don't like the color of the skin or the politics that they have. So That is what I'm talking about.
Chris says the best part about that story was a task force officer with Los Angeles FBI, JTTF. Is that like JTF 6, Joint Task Force something? I'm not familiar with JTTF. I know VC, like Violent Crimes Task Force, took Donut Factory Super Chat away. They took Donut Factory Super Chat. Guys, I have Super Chat. I make $2 to $4 a night on Super Chats. Also, YouTube keeps 40% of your money. When we do anything on Patreon, Patreon only keeps 10%. We get 90% of the money from Patreon. We get 60% of the money from YouTube. So when I tell you we make under $3,000 a month, that's full. That's full. That's before they take their 40%.
Saying that aren't most Walmarts close to train tracks is like saying aren't most McDonald's close to Walmart.
Yes, they are.
They're a major hub. Walmart is a major hub of Chinese fucking infrastructure gear. Of course, they're going to be close to railroad tracks, roads, infrastructure. They're not going to be somewhere where they can't get the fucking goods.
Well, Walmart's also set up to be used in military. It's set up to be used for military installations. They can put hospitals, they can put logistics in them. Walmart is also the largest partner to Homeland Security.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a fucking manual somewhere talking about not re-education camps. It would have to be something else. They couldn't call it re-education. It would have to be like a place to keep sick people or something like that. A quarantine. We're going to take these people to quarantine. Doesn't matter. Again, a tyrannical government that has decided that certain people are non-valuable to the United States of America. I'm in the bushes. I'm going to be over there trying to derail that train car and get you guys out. I might have to deport you afterwards, but I'm still not going to let the fucking government exterminate you because they don't like the color of your skin or the color of your hair or what size shoe you wear.
Hey, Josh, can you figure out how to get this Tristan guy's comment off of here? I don't know how. I must have hit it by accident.
Fight them, take you into what? Of course. Why would I fucking not?
I'm not saying ban him. I'm just saying unhighlight it somehow.
Of course I would. Of course I would fight a tyrannical government that was trying to put me in some sort of fucking camp. You know, even the Jews who believe in who believe in this life as being a place where they have to suffer, eventually in the Warsaw ghettos, they tried to fight back. Why would you wait until you didn't have the capability to fight back?
Are we still pulling the thread? Yeah.
We just did an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, we did. We also did a 2-hour Patreon today. Guys, if you haven't looked up tunnels under Walmart, now you won't find what you used to find there. There's very little on it. You will find thousands of news clips of people saying,
do you think the Camden Walmart has tunnels under it?
Probably not. Just because there hasn't been any big booms and rumblings and vibrations and stuff. But what you used to find when you search tunnels under Walmart, a lot of these almost like the First Amendment audit guys and the urban exploration guys would go around to all the Walmarts in their area, and they would be they all had security. All the closed down Walmarts all had security. They all had inward facing barbed wire, tons of cameras, tons of lighting, and a shitload of them had vehicles that said UN on them. Like there was fucking thousands of those videos. They've all been removed, but you might still be able to find them if you look on like Gaia Network or Rumble, or David Icke used to talk about it. Who's the other one? Alex Jones talked about it a lot, but there was fucking thousands of independent videos of that shit. Now, if you look up tunnels under Walmart now, you'll probably still find they had these big coring, these big tunneling machines. Now, Walmart says, and a lot of people have also said that Walmart has basements and sub basements, and they actually have them there for like storage and inventory and stuff. Walmart doesn't keep inventory. Like stores don't have inventory anymore like they used to. But if you look into it, it's pretty interesting. Internment and Resettlement Operations Army Field Manual FM 339.40. I would suspect you could find that on Amazon, and if not Amazon, it's probably on eBay.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a good read.
My whole county has tunnels under it. The tri-state mining district around Joplin, Missouri was popping 100 to 150 years ago. Yeah, there's tunnels under tunnels under tunnels and all the dumb stuff. Rogan had a guy on I think they arrested him in Italy when he was getting in the airport, and they picked him up. And he had gotten into, it started with like the subterranean stuff and the old nightclubs and train tracks and stuff in like the UK or London or somewhere. And then he got into some cabling and like phone and internet shit. And then under that, he got into some like Department of Defense kind of shit. And they wanted this dude. He was on Rogan. It's pretty interesting if you listen to it. We have some wild tunnels here in Las Vegas. Yeah, there's a lot of tunnels, man.
I will avenge you if you get put in the camps. I'm probably going to try and break you out. But
Skully, what do you look for at Army surplus stores? We answered that today on the Patreon.
Anything cool? I'm always looking for something. Poncho liners.
It says click on his comment to dismiss it. I can't find his fucking comment.
Bought so many poncho liners. I bet I have 100.
Been to Louisville several times. We not only have tunnels and underground space, it's promoted even. Yeah, we've been to some of that stuff. I like Louisville. Remember all the FEMA camps. Now Homeland is building large tent cities in all 50 states. Seen on Redacted. Yeah, a lot of them, they're putting the illegals in there. You got a bunch of Muslims in a lot of them, and they're dispersing them. They bring them in on federal prison buses. They take them out. What should be on your radar right now, as in every day for the last few days, if you go to any airport, you will see 300 to 500 illegals in the airport that are boarding aircraft. Where are they going? Where are they being dispersed to? They're literally in, like, if you go, anybody can verify this. Anybody flew in the last few days, they're literally just checking onto airplanes. They're not bringing them in the back gate. They're not boarding them out on the tarmac. They are sitting amongst you. Had hundreds of thousands of rubber coffins. Yeah, I remember the rubber coffin. How about the 18,000 guillotines? When you search that on YouTube now, or when you search that on Google now, it'll say that it's disinformation. The episode on Redacted talked about these camps are for dissidents, not illegals. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Yeah. They wanted to execute you during COVID if you didn't take the thing. Do you remember Congress people saying that?
Yep.
Would you recommend using train tracks to hike on foot to travel during societal? Well, train tracks, you can hear them when they're coming. Train tracks also are monitored sometimes. You might not be aware of that. When I was probably 25, maybe, we were playing paintball up and down the train tracks, and Pacific Railroad sent a fucking SWAT team out there to see what we were doing. Basically, they all have their own law enforcement. If you're not going to be the only one following the path of least resistance, which is the train track, you might move close to it, but you're definitely going to be a target if you're on it. It just depends what the situation is, man. If they're smoking fools from a distance, you probably shouldn't be on the train tracks. I wouldn't walk on the tracks. They aren't spaced right. Yeah, they're difficult to ride on too, like a bicycle. And then when you get on one and off the other, you can get across them at an angle with a truck or something, four-wheelers. But even on my Razors, because we've run train tracks, if you're running on them, it's kind of difficult to get off of them, and you can definitely unseat a tire if you don't have bead locks too. Just look into it, man.
Just go to your local rail yard. If we're talking about
trucks,
yeah, if we're talking about, rule of laws or anything like that, or the trains aren't running, just go to the local rail yard, and there will be a truck there that has the wheels on it. You can just get on there and drive. There's also a bunch of YouTube videos on how to convert a bicycle to ride on the railroad tracks. The good thing about railroad tracks is they do usually go to major metropolitan cities, but they ride on the outskirts. So you have the capability of moving through towns and areas, but not dead center in the town versus, it's the difference between walking down the middle of the street and walking off to the side where people really aren't looking. A lot of times people don't pay attention to railroad tracks. 5 gallons of water. I am digging the newer electric dirt bike for bug out vehicles. I have the Super 73, the Brandel edition. If you buy a Super 73, it's not going to be cool. You got to get the Brandel edition, and that thing is badass. I was on it today. Did 3 miles at 22 miles an hour because I am lazy and I don't want to hook it up to my phone so I can go 40 miles an hour. But that Super 73 is a fucking awesome bike, and it moves out when it wants to. There's some videos of me crashing on it, so go ahead and check that out. I'm digging the new the electrical bikes are I mean, there's some good stuff out there that, and it's very quiet, and it's, it's a fucking pretty cool bike. I like it. I'm glad that I'm actually waiting for Brandel to get rid of his 125 so I can I can go get the CCs up a little bit. But right now I'll deal with the bike because he's gonna trick that thing out so it's all badass, and then he's gonna be like, I need a 250. And I'm gonna be like, I'll buy that 125. They've been repairing the train tracks that go down to Homestead Air Force Base that haven't been used for years. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna, again, we're getting ready. I know people don't seem to understand this because everybody's comfortable and we live in a world with bags over our heads or our heads buried in the sand. You have a fucking government right now that is doing everything possible to get us into World War III, whether that's just a fight with Iran, Russia, China. They're not doing anything to mitigate World War III. They're doing everything they can to encourage these other countries to start a fight. And so, of course, they're going to be fucking getting the railroad tracks fucking squared away to the Air Force Base because they're going to need those fucking railroad tracks to move the material that is going to be necessary to fucking fight the next war. Skully, and their thoughts on the benefits of an X95 versus AR. The benefits of an X95 versus an AR-15 is always velocity, velocity, velocity. I can have a longer barrel in a shorter package than you can with an M4 carbine, and so I'm going to have the velocity. And if you know anything about the 223 or the 5.56, velocity is king. As soon as the velocity drops off, as soon as you lose that supersonic velocity, that gun becomes just a 22. It's not doing any damage. You need that thing to be fucking smoking out of that gun. You need 3,000 feet per second, 2,800 feet per second. So that's what the advantage of the X95 is it allows you to keep that velocity high, but also in a small package. Again, there's drawbacks to having an X95. It requires you to monkey train yourself out of an AR-15. I love fucking AR-15s. The M4 carbine is a fucking awesome rifle. The M4A4, the M16A2, those are great guns. But now I can get a package. I have a package with the X95 that has a 16-inch barrel that is as small as your 10-inch. I'm going to have a velocity king over you. So it's there's a benefit and there's drawbacks to both of them.
What's the X95, a bullpup?
Yeah, it's the Israeli bullpup.
I talked to a man and a woman that were panhandling with a child with them, sitting near the Walmart. He said they didn't speak English and they said they were from Romania. I looked at land.
That's a long trip to come with your children.
Looked for land for sale in Tennessee. Looks like everyone else is. Oh, they are, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's coming to Tennessee because it's free.
It's still cheaper.
It's America here.
It's still these are the good old days, guys. Those prices you're seeing that you're like, oh man, prices have gone up. They're never coming down. There was $1,000 an acre land here. It's all $3,000 now. That's still less and better than everywhere else. Now you can still get $1,000 an acre land. The key is you need to buy 150 to 300 acres. And a lot of that land you can take and cut it, and the timber companies will come out and split the money, and you can almost pay that land off of that. You could also subdivide some of that up into 5-acre lots, owner finance it. When they stop paying, you just sell it to the next dude, and it's super easy to do. You can, and then I know a guy bought 150 acres, cut the wood, split the wood with the company, bought 300 more, did the same thing, and he now has about 400 acres of property 30 minutes from here.
I like the Hellion. It's a good gun. I have one, but I'm in my X95 phase right now. Looking to probably, if the Civil War doesn't happen, I'm probably going to go to the IWI Tavor class with the Hellion next time and run the whole same course with the Hellion.
What part should you be? East Tennessee costs more. East Tennessee is way more pretty. East Tennessee has some mountains. Chattanooga is fucking beautiful. Everything east of there, it just gets prettier. Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Blue. Where are you at, Josh? Blue. What's the mountains over there? Where he's at? Tennessee, Georgia area. East Tennessee is nice. There's Josh right there. We're in Middle Tennessee. Look, Middle Tennessee. Look around here. There's properties for sale. You're not going to find them listed. You got to get on the ground. And the price that the old man's selling for, it's not the old man selling it. The price the old man wants is different than the price his grandson has listed it for. Blue Ridge. There we go. If I left here, we'd go to Chattanooga. When we leave here, Chattanooga is where we go to. East Tennessee has way less tornadoes and hail damage. Man, I never saw hail damage like until this year. This is the first time. I've been here 20 years. You always hear golf ball size hail. We had a paintball size hail. Every vehicle on the property here has these little micro dents in it right now. I saw an article today that said for a single person to live comfortably around here, they have to make 80 to 85,000 a year. Not sure how they define comfortable. Well, when your White House is giving you the current stats, they are not including fuel, energy, food, or housing. What the fuck is left? John, what do you think of McMinnville? We actually we're looking at a property. We've looked at a property in McMinnville. We are also, there's a 400 acre property an hour from here, has 2 miles of road frontage. It's $4 million. For you guys, if you've never looked at property, you need about 800,000 to do that. Your payments would be between 10 and 16,000, depending how you did it. There's a property in McMinnville. It's only 7 acres, has its own railway coming into it. Has 160,000 square foot under roof. It's huge. What?
Not that I can just bring the train cars to your place at McMinnville and we can offload everybody and they can go there.
Well, I always said I was stoked the first time we got a semi truck.
Yeah.
I was stoked the first time UPS brought a trailer. And then I'm like, I want a semi truck. That'd be cool. I want a semi truck to come here once a month. And then we had a semi truck come every week. And then I'm like, what's next? I want a rail car. Plus, I want to buy some train cars.
Be cool to have a fucking rail car delivery.
John, what do you think?
Deliver things with rail cars anymore?
Yeah, everything comes from a rail car to begin with. The only thing cheaper to move than a rail car is waterway when you move by ship. A lot of guys moving exotic cars to Florida and such, they put them on barges and send them in. Tennessee gets a thumbs up for strategic relocation in Joel Skelton's book. You guys should have, if you guys are looking at relocating and doing homesteading or anything like that, Curtis Stone, he's in Canada, but he comes to the United States quite a bit. And he's been looking at every state, and he's actually doing reviews of properties in different states. Like, this is why I would want this. This is why I wouldn't want this. And you might not be interested in that property, but you'll learn a lot from Curtis Stone that way. Solstice celebration. Appalachian Mountain rumors. I don't know what the rumors are. I know some people in Appalachia, though. There are a few guys around here that collect actual trains. Yeah. There's a lot of dudes doing train cars as Airbnbs and stuff. There's a caboose that Amanda and I were in. Some of you guys probably saw it. I put a lot of content up on Instagram that doesn't go other places. And I put a lot of stuff on shorts that's only there for 24 hours. We were in a caboose a couple months ago that was really neat. Skully, John says Civil War hits January. What training will be best for the untrained? Oh, I think he's asking both of us.
What training would be best for the untrained? Just firearms management, being able to manipulate your firearm in the most proficient manner you possibly can. And the reality is, what I would say is food, which includes water. You should prepare yourself to be static and undetectable for like 90 days, right? Let the fucking animals eat the animals. Don't have what you don't want to do. If shit really pops off, if we become uncomfortable enough where shit pops off, what you don't want to do is have a reason to go outside and mingle. Right? There's no reason for you to go get toilet paper. There's no reason for you to go get insulin. There's no reason for you to go out and get the things that you need to survive, because that first 90 days is going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. You don't have any major metropolitan city that has more than 24 hours worth of food. So in 3 days, motherfuckers are going to be looking for food. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't think if you don't think that people will get medieval over some goddamn food, man, they were eating their own fucking children in Russia during the fucking First War. It'll happen. People will do the craziest goddamn shit.
Yeah,
so
look up Holodomor.
Just stay. You want to stay as quiet and safe as possible.
Yeah, make yourself valuable. You need to be valuable. If you're not combat ready, combat effective, or whatever, you need to be valuable to somebody.
That's true.
I used to mow this property so that it looked like a golf course. You guys have probably seen hundreds of hours of me fucking mowing with drones, with the drone footage. I have light bars on my mowers. I love to mow. I stopped mowing. I didn't mow this year until just a week or two ago, and I only mowed paths, and a bunch of weeds grow. And we went to a medicinal medicine, like an apothecary class that was like an hour long that our friend Dawn Gorham did. And we realized that all these things that we call weeds all have a medicinal purpose. My wife started an entire business off of that. It started with the pain salve and the comfrey salve and the tar soap, the pine tar soap, the pine tar salve that draws out bug toxins and stuff. Like if you get stung by a bee or stung by mosquitoes, man, she's made all kinds of shit. It's all weeds. Get an app on your phone called Picture This and start taking pictures of weeds. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm pulling over. I want to see what this plant is on the side of the fucking road. You don't want to harvest on the side of the interstate because there's so many toxins, but you can definitely find them. I don't want you to rely on Picture This, but once you look it up a couple of times, you'll know what this is. And I want you to realize the reason I tell you this is you can get this app for free. And I want you to just start taking pictures of weeds. And then you're going to realize how valuable this is. And I want you to get the field guides and the medicinal plants and the apothecary books. You can make all of this stuff. I haven't used aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen in over a year. And I haven't used it really probably in 2 years. My wife makes some bullshit out of these fucking plants out here that we call weeds that works better than any of that shit ever has. You can blood pressure. I mean, everything. Anything, and I don't take any blood pressure shit, but you can make something for any of your ailments almost out of fucking plants. Like they've got a plant that they'll tell you will kill you. The farmers call it pigweed, and pokeweed is what it is. And everybody, when you mention it, people are like, oh my God, that'll kill you. There's a fucking lot of people who say they have had cancer and they wanted to do these surgeries and they started using this pokeweed stuff. You have to use it in a specific way. And it fucking removed the cancer. Like they have no cancers in their body. Now you're going to have to look and see for yourself, but that's one way you could make yourself useful to other people. And especially if you start messing with it now and you actually have proven to these people that this works, they're not going to bother to learn this shit. They're busy stacking MREs and stacking bullets and water purification and shit. But if you can be Dr. Quinn medicine woman to them, that's a lot of use. Found property, Onyx Hunt map. Yep, that's a good app. Stuff that kills parasites kills cancers. Yep. Most cancers they are saying are caused by parasites, and a ton of it's coming from pork. Now, the dude that asked, what if I'm carnivore? You're not going to be fucking carnivore for long when the shit comes down like this. You're going to go back to eating the other way. You're also going to need 3,000 calories a day minimum to be a farmer, agrarian lifestyle, right? Everybody's like, I'm going to just do 1,000, 1,500 calories. I'm going to burn this fat off. That's awesome until you're burning fucking 4,000 calories a day. Calorie is just a unit of measure. When you light something on fire, that's how they measure calories. You can't really do it on your own. But, and I do, like my wife was keto for fucking a couple years. I'm friends with Doc Barry. He was our family doctor, the keto doc, the carnivore, proper human diet, eggs, butter. What is it? Eggs, butter, biscuits, and bread. I know what it is, but, that's great. You can do that as long as you have that meat. But when the time comes that the shit has hit the fan and you're trying to live off meat, you probably ain't living for long just off meat. You're going to have some other shit. The other thing too, I have 3 commercial freezers, just like the ones at Walmart, the 3-door ones, right? I have 9 doors of freezer full of cows and fucking chickens and turkeys and shit. When the shit hits the fan and the power goes out, you're going to have to fucking process that motherfucker and smoke that shit really fast, or you're going to have a nice big fucking, community barbecue for all your people, whatever's going to happen. You might have some cows out there. You might have some chickens. You're going to be eating eggs and stuff, but you know what stores? Rice, beans, fucking all, those are all the calorie crops that can store. Now, Jeff said freeze dry lasts 25 years. We used to say that. We say 35 years now. The reason we say 35 years because the technology hasn't been in our hands for 50 years. I'll bet you it's longer than that. Now, you're storing most of that shit in Mylar bags. The problem with Mylar bags is mice and rodents. Now, you can take that shit and you can store all of that in a big plastic tote. Those plastic totes cost about $20 a piece now. That adds up. You know what the real way to do it is to buy a number 10 canner, which is going to cost you about $1,500 to $2,000 and pallets of cans. The beauty of those cans is mice through them motherfuckers.
Cans, yeah.
Costs more right now, but in the long run, it does not. Bear Independent Channel. Sorry, what about it, Eric? I'm friends with Bear. We just had Bear on last week. Bear will be here in October. Bear doesn't know it, but he will also probably be here in July. Black walnuts.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah. Oh. Tales of the Apocalypse. A girl in a bunker leaves the bunker and ends up in some ghoul's dinner, hanging upside down in the meat locker.
Gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of kuru running around. Better start making jerky. Yeah, we have 2 outhouses here, composting toilets. One of them has 2 toilets side by side, so his and her shitter. But we're gonna build a smokehouse, a cold smokehouse that is just like those. Better learn how to grow potatoes. We have potatoes in right now. I'm about to put in 500 feet of potatoes. When's the sermon at Jeff's church? Gears have been switched. Jeff's doing something different. That's going to happen here. It'll be a tent revival. I heard per gram.
Tent revival sounds so much cooler anyways.
Kidney beans.
Can we have snakes?
Have more protein. Man, I've been looking for a snake church. I haven't found one. Bears Prepper Classroom playlist. Yeah, it's great. You guys should join Bears Patreon is what you should do. Stop being cheap motherfuckers. I can't afford $5 a month. Yes, you fucking can. You're doing some bullshit that you can stop doing that will change the position of your life. Lived in Colorado when the St. Vrain River got out. Didn't seem like much to a guy from Iowa. Grew up in Mississippi, but people lost their minds. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. How's it feel to know you've saved countless lives with no bullshit bomb-proof gear? I don't really think about it, man. It's just like we just build shit the way it should be built. You always hear people say they don't make it like that anymore. We still make it like that. Like I used to joke about, we've been doing this before the internet. We really were doing it before the internet. Guys are like, how do I start a business? I'm like, you have the answer to everything on your fucking phone. Why don't you just look it up? And that's the same thing with like, how does it feel about saving countless lives? I don't really think about it. We just build stuff the same way we've always made it. More people say that we've changed their lives just through content. I actually have this conversation all the time. Brandel over here can tell you, Jeff can tell you, there's a lot of times when I'm like, man, we're spending $10,000 a month to do this and it's making $2,000 a month. Why the fuck are we doing this? And every time I say that, multiple emails come through. It's almost like God, the universe, it comes through the email and it's like, hey man, I was listening to your stuff and I just want you to know I've lost 100 pounds. I lost my wife and, I was ready to end my life. And I realized that, and it just goes on and on. Every single time we say that, somebody sends us something that tells us, hey, you're moving in the right direction and what you're doing makes a difference. Food in stores won't last 24 hours. No, everything's just in time inventory. All right, guys. Hey, we're running up. We're at it's 6 o'clock.
Look at that.
I have to go in here and I'm a man short. I have to go in here and make up his work today. And I'm sure that my dudes have taken off or are waiting on me so they can take off. So I'm going to go and relieve them and get the work on the table done so that it can ship tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. I've enjoyed doing these videos with you guys. I'll do a live tonight at 9 o'clock. Make sure you join Jeff's Patreon, Dog Kennel and Little Spoon. Make sure you join his membership. His content's very different than mine. I actually watch his content and enjoy it. Sometimes I don't even realize it just rolls into the next one. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? But make sure you check it out and we'll see you guys tonight. New member, Eric D. Guys, everybody on here, I guess you don't see it on here. You only see it on YouTube. Everybody that has a star next to their name, those are members. And I have a membership, as does Jeff. And we have, I'm over 1,000 members on here. I think you will find that you get a great amount of value for the membership that's there.
We try anyways.
About 40% of we put up, I'll bet we put up over some weeks we do almost 20 hours of content, just to members only. The podcast, Pulling the Thread, and the podcast that my wife and I do, Q&A with John and Amanda, those are only to members. You'll see them out in public, but they come out about 6 months later. Had to re-up. Thanks, man.
Oh, Blade West. When's the
Self-Reliance?
Yeah, when's Self-Reliance? October?
Yeah.
Apparently, Doug says it's the same week, same time as Blade West.
Doug Esposito?
Yeah.
How's he know about Self-Reliance Festival?
Because he's a ninja. I mean,
is he bringing his company? Is he still doing?
He's doing knives.
Yeah, Mercantile.
Yeah.
What's his company name?
Mercantile.
Why don't you tell him to come out here?
Because he's doing Blade West. He wants me to go to Blade West, but I think we have a conflict.
Yeah, you can't go.
I think we have a conflict.
Tell him I said no.
Well, he knows. He's like, it's too bad that Blade West conflicts.
I would love to have him come out here.
Powwow.
I would love to see Doug out here. Tell him
he's just down the street. He's in goddamn Mississippi.
Tell him I'm gonna do some jujitsu with him. I got some moves I got to try out.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him.
Tell him Instructor Z is gonna train me up in some shit he ain't seen.
John says he's got a surefire move that you can't counteract.
All right, guys. Hey, we're off here, guys. See you tonight.